The quest for Nigeria's fourth AFCON title will go on for much longer as the Super Eagles were knocked out 4-2 on penalties by the Atlas Lions of Morocco. Welcome to today's video, guys. It is on a sad note that I start today's video as there will be no chance for Nigeria to win the AFCON anymore. But of course, I still have to do my thing regardless. And today, as usual, I'll be reviewing the game against Morocco and, let me just get into it because I don't want to sulk for too much. The overall team play as usual. I thought, we were suppressed a lot in this game. But then again, it didn't look like we were defensive. But, Morocco deserved to win this game. They were the better team throughout. If you see the disparity in the shots on target, I'll probably post that when I'm done with the editing and all of this video. If you see the disparity in the shots on target, possession, the disparity in possession was not that wide, but the shots on target was like what really showed like where the game was who was likely to score really. And if you look at the way we played in the games before this Morocco game, you could tell that we played a team that neutralized all of our strengths really. All those balls that Alex Iwobi was able to supply to the attack for the likes of Lookman to run into space, he didn't have that chance to do that. He tried, but you could tell that Morocco had done their homework on us. We didn't have chances to cross to Victor Osimhen. We barely had set pieces. I think we faced a very, very superior team tactically. And I want to say this, that's credit to Walid Regragui, the Moroccan coach who, organized his team to nullify all of Nigeria's threats, And so the overall gameplay of this game from Nigeria was not good enough. But then again, I think it is a mix of Morocco really doing their homework as well as Nigeria not good enough. Not just Nigeria not good enough, right? So I thought that we could have done better, and we could have, when we noticed that, things were not really working or playing out for us as they normally would, or as it had done in the previous games, we probably could have switched things up a bit, But I feel like sometimes with this team, there's kind of like only one way to play. And not even the reliance on Victor Osimhen now, that's not even what I'm talking about, but I think that, and maybe this is just Nigeria generally over the years, the Super Eagles, once we find like, especially in a tournament, once we find like a winning formula or a way we play, right, we always go with that. And then when we face a team that sort of knows how to counter that way, we are done. There's no, it feels like there's no plan B basically. So I think that the overall play was not good enough, but I also don't think that it's 100% due to what we didn't do. I feel like it is like 50-50 of what Morocco did right. So I thought that our overall play was suppressed. We couldn't get the ball to Victor Osimhen. Every time Lookman was on the ball, it was crowded out. Akko Adams was below par today for me. I don't really know where the spark could have come from, because the best player, and I'll get to that, but our best player today for me was Calvin Bassey without a doubt. And maybe Stanley Wabali because he made some good saves. But I think it tells you what it tells you, that because, apart from Semi Ajayi getting the MVP in, I think, the first game or so against Tanzania, and that was largely because he scored in that game, Calvin Bassey was our best player today, for me, and not because, it's not officially recognized. A Moroccan would probably win the best player, but Calvin Bassey was the best player today. And that was because, we were under pressure. But like I said, it didn't feel like we were defensive. It just felt like, I felt like that game generally, a lot of the game was played between the midfield between the areas outside of the midfield of both teams. But most of the clear attacking chances were for Morocco, and if not for the performance of Calvin Bassey, I think we would have conceded in this game. But there's not even much to say really, because the mood is not that good. So I am trying to find the words right now. I don't think we did good enough. I honestly think Morocco deserved to win. And yeah, that's just it about the overall team play. It was not good enough, and there was no plan B. So yeah, we got what we deserved. And the best performance for me, I think this is without a doubt, and I think people can agree with me that it was Calvin Bassey, because Calvin Bassey read every move, every through ball that was played into defense. I don't think there was any time Calvin Bassey decided to intercept or stand in front of a Moroccan forward and it was the wrong decision. No, everything he did was 100% in that game. And honestly, if it was not for the fact that we lost, I think Calvin Bassey would probably be official MVP. But honestly, Calvin Bassey, hats off to you. You did your best. You did all you could. You were a standout player for me. They were contenders for that best player, but for me, Calvin Bassey, if not for him, we would have probably considered 2 goals in this game. And while I was watching that game, maybe I should have said this in overall team play. In my mind, I felt like, while I was watching that game, in my mind, I felt like this was DR Congo all over again, because there is a certain way, like when we are going to lose, or when it feels like we're going to lose, there's a certain way the game just starts to go. You just know that we don't have this innovation, so to say, or this plan B. If this game continues, if we continue to be under pressure like this, we don't have an answer to this, right? And that was very similar to what happened in DR Congo game. DR Congo deserved to win that game. They were the better team. And as time went on in that game, we were not really offering anything. It's the same with this Morocco game. We're not really offering anything. We're not really threatening them in attack. So, it was just DR Congo to me all over again. And, then we lost the penalties, which is like DR Congo all over again. Literally, everything that happened in that game, almost everything happened in this game as well, except for the fact that this game was goalless, right? The 90 and the extra time 30 minutes. So yeah, I think best performance for me, Calvin Bassey, and Bright Osai Samuel was also quite good with the one-on-one duels. Bruno Yemachi did well, keeping Brian Bia's silent on the left wing, but in attack he was questionable at times. He couldn't deliver. He couldn't deliver in terms of like the attacking runs. So I think that's where it was a bit questionable. And honestly, our attackers, they were just crowded out, and there was nothing the midfield could do. The midfield did not do enough to give them the balls. Alex Wobi, Frank Onyeka, they were just there really. And yeah, so Calvin Bassey for me, standout player. And honestly, that final, I think the way I feel about this game is not even necessarily sadness. It's just the fact that knowing that it was Morocco, the host team, and the atmosphere in the stadium and everything, packed. And the fact that Morocco has been playing in that stadium from the first game up until now, and this was the first time we were playing that stadium, there were a lot of things that probably were going to work against us. But yeah, it just felt like one team has to win, and the fact that the 4 semi-finalists were all teams that, if they won, nobody will be surprised. So it's just what it is. Football, 90 minutes, 120 minutes, penalties. You have to separate the 2 teams. So it's what it is. I think Morocco deserves to win, and they'll probably go on to win it. Let's see if Senegal can stop them in the final. Yeah, so we play, what next for Super Eagles? We play Egypt in the 3rd place game. And honestly, I think I now understand why Europeans, when they're playing Euros and all of that, they don't play 3rd place matches, because this is like I've witnessed a couple of 3rd place matches that teams I support play in tournaments, right? And this is the one where I don't give a damn about it the most. Like I feel like at this point, my opinion is that I won't watch that game. Maybe I will change my mind later on, but at this time, I've said I'm not going to watch that game because the expectations were high. Especially after our performances. After Tunisia, and we won all our 3 group games, and we dispatched Mozambique and Algeria respectively. So the expectations were really, really high. So 3rd place does not mean anything to me as a Nigerian football fan, watching Super Eagles for a huge part of my lifetime. I've seen us come 3rd before, and we came 2nd the last time, and again this time we're coming up short against the host of the tournament. So it's just just what it is. But beyond that, I think we gave a good account of ourselves generally in these tournaments. And if we didn't come up against Morocco, I am like 99% sure we'll be in that final. But then again, football is the way it is. So yeah, guys, that's where I bring today's video to a close. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing to my channel. If you enjoyed this video, please share to all football fans and all sport fans. I don't know if you enjoyed this video, to be honest, because this is not the type of video I assume people will watch. I'm just saying. But yeah, share to everybody really, and until I record my next video, or until I upload my next video, which will be real soon. It's bye for now, guys. Ciao.